Welcome back to All Things EVM. My name is Aaron, and on this channel we talk about all things Ethereum compatible. Today, guys, I'd like to talk about a positive sum DeFi application giving you upfront yield that is Possum Labs. Let's jump on into it. First and foremost, guys, there's a great rundown of how all of this works inside of Possum Labs X channel. Make sure to check that out. It's just Possum_labs. We're going to talk today about the portals in particular. There's a couple mechanisms inside of Possum Labs that you can interact with. Portals is where you get your upfront yield. Currently, there's only one portal available to get upfront yield, and that is the HLP portal. But there are more coming, I'm told, by the Possum team, and I'm excited for that because yield farming is a big part of what I do on this channel, and it's a big part of what is done in the crypto space. So let's jump into the mechanics here. I'm going to quickly go through this X post. HLP portal offers 38% of your yield up front, guys. That means that you get it immediately. You don't have to wait, that's 365 days, right? HLP gives a 38% APY. Of course, you can compound that inside of HMX. If you're over there, it's a perps dex and you're providing liquidity to the traders there. And you could definitely compound those gains and stuff, but why not get it up front? This is a lot more efficient way of yield farming, guys, because you get that liquidity up front and you can immediately use that somewhere else. You could loop this strategy if you want to, or you can use the tokens, or you can use the upfront yields that you get out of the portals to go farm another project. So two factors minimize the risk of portals running out of PSM. PSM is the input and output token. It's also the governance token of the Possum Labs ecosystem. So let's dive in here. Internal PE PSM liquidity pool. PE is portal energy, and I'll show you how that works when we get into the protocol in a little bit. But there's an internal liquidity pool that makes these portals work. Within each portal is its custom-built liquidity system. Portals use an internal 50-50 LP composed of PSM and portal energy. The LP uses the constant function you would find in an AMM like Uniswap v2, not v3, to keep liquidity balanced. The demand for upfront yield will reduce the available upfront APR, thus protecting the internal LP from ever being depleted. This mechanism allows the market forces of supply and demand to determine the appropriate upfront yield rate while ensuring availability at all times. Now, number two, you could arbitrage this as well. Anyone can purchase a portal's accrued yield with a predetermined amount of PSM. Since the balance of accrued yield is consistently increasing, this eventually creates an arbitrage scenario. As upfront yield is claimed and sold, the staked assets generate returns. These returns accumulate and can be claimed for a fixed PSM cost. When the arbitrage value passes the PSM claim cost, arbitrageurs can claim a tidy profit while injecting PSM back into the system. The combination of the PSM PE or Portal Energy LP pool creates a positive sum flywheel for every stakeholder of the protocol. PSM holders benefit from token price supporting in the long term by Portal's yield. I think it's really unique to Possum in particular that PSM is their input token and is going to be the basis of every single portal as far as the PE to PSM ratio goes. This is what is unique about Possum, and I'll tell you in comparison to Flashstake, as some of you may remember me covering Flashstake in previous videos on this channel. Higher PSM price equals more demand for portals and B tokens. I'm not going to get too much into B tokens, but these are the tokens that the initial seeders of the portals get. Reading through this gives you a high-level example of all the different parties that can be involved with these portals. But I'd like to show you next how the portals actually work, as it's a very good visual example and you get more understanding, I think, from actually using the protocol itself. So first of all, let's go over to HMX and buy some HLP. If you go to the Earn tab, guys, this is hmx.org. It's a perpetuals dex on the Arbitrum chain. If you go to HLP, you can buy HLP with some GM ETH. That's GMX. ETH actually, or GMBTC, or you can buy it with USDCE, which is native to Arbitrum. I have $862 of this in my wallet. And for this example, I'm going to buy 100 of these. But what you want to make sure to do, guys, is hit this do not auto stake HLP, and this will make sure that you can go immediately use it over in Possum Labs. So hit this to approve. I've already got some in my wallet, so let's jump into Possum. Now, if you've already got some staked in here, you can go to the Earn tab, go to the platform rewards, and then unstake your position to be able to use it in Possum as well. So I did this earlier as well just to check it out, and it's really easy. Unstake it and then bring it over to Possum. So when you first open Possum, you have these two options, portals or time rift. If you're familiar with flash stake, guys, you can actually go to time rift and convert your flash stake tokens into Possum and actually get a really great APY on this, 346% staking on your flash tokens. So I have done that. I had like 36,000 flash tokens over from using that protocol in the past. Flash stake has officially moved. The team has moved on to a new protocol. Yes, it is immutable, so you can use it some more. But many of the people that were using flash stake created Possum Labs actually. So it's kind of the next evolution of it, and it's great that they're supporting those ecosystem users in the past, bringing them in to the Possum Labs ecosystem with this time rift. All right, so let's get into the portal itself. And this is the HLP portal. I'm told that there will be more portals to check out in the future, guys. But this is what it looks like when you initially get in. I do have a wallet balance of 100 HLP as we picked up over at HMX. So let's stake that inside of the portal to see what happens. So I'm going to click on the HLP here, and then I'm going to hit stake. Now that I've got that approved in my wallet, guys, just watch this, this portal light up. So now that I've staked my tokens inside of the portal, portal energy is at 100%. Now that I have my HLP staked in here, I can take out my upfront yield. If you scroll down to the bottom here and then click on max, this will pay out 37% in upfront APR, which is amazing. And I can get that in PSM tokens immediately, guys. Possum Labs actually has really deep liquidity, so there's no problem changing this to any other token that you could find on the Arbitrum ecosystem. Switch it into Ether or into USDC, guys, and use it wherever you might want to farm some yield. Possum Labs does not take any sort of fees when you create this. The only thing that you're paying is gas fees on the Arbitrum network. The protocol itself doesn't have any protocol fees, and that's why they call it positive sum. So let's collect our upfront yield by hitting the claim button, hitting max. You're going to get 37% paid out in PSM tokens, and you can go ahead and trade that with deep liquidity on the Arbitrum ecosystem, guys. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and withdraw our upfront yield paid out in Possum here. Now that I've taken out all the PSM that I could get up front, this meter here has gone from 100% full to 100% empty. Now, in order to recover that collateral that you put in as HLP, there's two ways to retrieve it. You can either wait the time it takes for the yields to accrue on that HLP, and that portal energy will grow from 0% to 100% over time, or you can repay your Possum tokens by hitting recharge here and then hitting your Possum balance in your wallet, and then deposit PSM back into the portal. And because there's no fees going to the project, guys, you can immediately do this right away. If you made a mistake, perhaps all you have to do is pay the gas fees to put this back in and take out your initial capital. All right, now that I've refilled this with my Possum tokens, if you go up here and hit on this 100%, you're going to see that you can unstake your HLP at this point. So let's hit unstake to recover this. Now that I've withdrawn this and refreshed the page, I now have a wallet balance of 100 HLP. Now I can go back to HMX and put that back into the system or withdraw it for my funds that I initially put into that HLP. But now you can see how easy it is, guys, to get upfront yield with Possum Labs. Now I'd like to quickly go into how this compares to FlashStake. FlashStake was one of the first upfront yield protocols that gave you the ability to cash out upfront yield ahead of time, and it had a very similar mechanism. However, instead of using internal portal energy to Possum LPs, they were creating different LPs for each portal. So that cost a lot of money, and if they found out that they really needed to incentivize Flash rewards to LPers in order to make that system work. But Possum Labs has made it possible to use the PSM token as the LP. And that's where that positive sum flywheel comes from with every single portal that they create for this system. PSM tokens and Portal Energy are going to be the underlying LPs for each of these, which makes it really consistent and truly positive sum. Those who are Possum holders, as well as those who are trying to get that upfront yield, are going to be locking up assets, making the Possum tokens stronger. And not only locking up Possum tokens, but locking up yield-bearing assets to yield against those Possum tokens. That, along with no protocol fees, makes this positive sum DeFi for all parties. And before I leave, guys, I want to talk about this concept of hyperstructures and positive sums. So let's get into a definition here. Hyperstructure is a crypto protocol that can run for free and forever without maintenance, interruption, or intermediaries. All of these are capitalized in Possum Labs. It's unstoppable. The protocol cannot be stopped by anyone. It runs for as long as the underlying blockchain exists, or in this case, as long as HLP is a factor, this portal will run, right? And then it's free. There is a 0% protocol-wide fee and runs exactly at gas cost. Valuable accrues value, which is accessible and exitable by all the owners, which means you can trade Possum at any time. There's deep liquidity, as I mentioned, and this is what makes it valuable. And then expansive, there are built-in incentives for participants in the protocol. There's the upfront yield farmers, there's the arbitragers with that Portal Energy arbitrage, and then there's also the seeders that I talked about earlier in the episode. BHLP holders, or the B token holders, do get a portion of the yield that's paid out from HLP. And then it's permissionless, guys, universally accessible and censorship resistant. Builders and users cannot be deplatformed. This is something that did happen with Flashstick. There's an underlying team that was doxxed, and because of regulation, they decided to geolock Flashstick, which really hampered the use, as many Americans in particular couldn't access the platform anymore. It is positive sum. It creates a win-win environment for all participants to utilize the same infrastructure. And then it's credibly neutral. The protocol is user agnostic, which means anybody can use it anytime. With that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you see the benefits of positive sum DeFi in Possum Labs portals, and that you get a chance to use this. I look forward to new portals coming out, as I think HLP is a bit of a niche product, but it was the proof of concept for this team, and I think it's doing very well. I look forward to holding on to some Possum tokens. I want to be as transparent as possible here. I am invested in the Possum token. As I did mention in the video, I am currently moving my Flashstick tokens into Possum tokens, as well as getting some of the marketing PSM from the protocol to advertise this platform. So I'm getting paid there as well. I wanted you to be aware of this, but I do think this has value, so I'm promoting it on this channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content just like this. I'll be sure to put links to Possum Labs, their website and their Discord, so you have places to go with with either your investments or your questions. Have a great week, and God bless.